Hello guys, this video is going to showcase what I personally believe is the best internet video rendering settings using Sony Vegas Pro 12. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to launch the program. And this tutorial is going to be specifically around the resolution of 1920 by 1080. The same procedure will work with any lower or higher resolutions, but just with one click of a button. Basically, I'm going to show you later on in the tutorial. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to import a video. Alright, so the video that we have here is a 1920 by 1080p resolution video running at 30 frames per second. So before I even start with anything else, the first thing I do is I right click the video timeline. This is the video track right here. So you right click within anywhere the video track, go to properties, and you disable the resample. So what this does is it eliminates any ghosting of the image, so your overall video quality will be better. So you hit OK after doing that, and then this is over here a optional procedure. And this is basically adding some video effects to, fine tune the overall image quality, such as maybe the sharpness, the brightness and contrast, the color correction, whatever you want to add. So what I add is a Sony brightness and contrast, and I add Sony sharpen. And these are basically compensation techniques for the overall video rendering procedures and how YouTube compresses the video. So I add some brightness and contrast because the codec that we're going to be using today is a .mp4 variant, and the rendered video seems to be duller in brightness and overall vibrancy of the image as in comparison to the original video. So what I do to pretty much compensate for that, I already have a template, and what that does is all this changed was it added about 0.050 in the positive increments to the overall video. So you can click this arrow so you can kind of see a difference. So this actually makes the rendered video look a lot more clearer, as opposed to it being dull if you never really added this. But this could be this is all your preference. So another thing I add over here is sharpen, and the PC variant I have it set to about 750, or you can set it to about 500 or even less. But this is just to compensate again for YouTube's compression techniques, because when the video is compressed using YouTube, when you upload it to YouTube, sorry, the overall video looks a bit blurrier than what you would expect to see it in your original or even your rendered video on your hard drive. So by kind of overcompensating with the sharpness techniques, it makes the image when it hits YouTube look a lot more distinct and clearer. So you can, like I said before, you can add even more FXs, but these are the two main FX that I add to my videos. So once that is done, you want to click over here and go to render. Alright, so the template that I use, or the codec actually, is main concept AVC/AAC parentheses .mp4.avc. You want to click the drop down arrow, and then you want to scroll all the way down to Blu-ray 1920 by 1080-60i 25 megabits per second video stream. Click that and then go to customize template. Now you're going to be greeted with the default settings within this template. First thing you want to do is check your frame size. This is a 1920 by 1080 video, so this is the correct frame size. The profile, it can be, I set this to high. The frame rate, YouTube only showcases videos with a frame rate of 30 FPS or 29.970. There's really no difference between that and 30. So there's really no point in setting the frame rate anything above that. You can actually manually set this to about 60. I didn't mean to do that. Go back to customize. You can manually set that to about 60 and have a 60 FPS, which is a very smooth, but when YouTube compresses it and you actually see the video, it's not going to run at 60 frames per second. And when you render at 60 frames per second, the rendered video is going to be a very big file size. So there's really no point in doing this at all. So set it to 29.9 NTSC. You don't want to really allow the source to adjust the frame rate, because by clicking this, it means that whatever the original file's frame rate is what's going to be the rendered file's frame rate. The same thing for this frame size up here. The field order, you're going to always want to click on none progressive scan, because if you leave it on the other two options, your video is going to be interlaced. And what that means is any fast moving scenes, you're going to have line segments going vertically up and down the video, which deters from the overall video quality. Leave the pixel aspect ratio at 1.0 and leave the number of reference frames at 2 and use the blocking filter. Then go to custom bitrate and select this and then go to 10 million. And in encode mode, depending on what type of hardware that you're using, rendering using the CPU only is going to render using your built-in CPU. Rendering using OpenCL, if available, is going to render using a dedicated graphics card that you may have, but it has to be an AMD. If you want to render with an NVIDIA graphics card, you're going to be rendering using CUDA. So CUDA is for NVIDIA and OpenCL is for an AMD. If you don't have a dedicated graphics card, rendering using CPU only. If you don't know whether you have a dedicated or not, just render using the CPU. Now let's go to the audio tab over here, and you're going to see that this is grayed out. There's no option to include audio. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to System, go to the format, because right now it's set to a video elementary stream, which means that if you render using this specific setting, the video is only going to be a video without a audio component. So you're going to want to click MP4 file format, go back to audio, and now you have the ability to include audio. You can set this to whatever you feel. I usually set it to 192 and I leave this to 48. Now you're going to want to go to project. Rendering video quality should be set to best. Everything else can be set to the specific default settings. So once this is done, you should set this to you should name this whatever you want to name it. So when you come back, YouTube best. So when you come back to it, you don't have to redo the settings over and over. So you click this little button over here, and this pretty much saves the template. So hit OK, and now you can see that this is now a specific customized template. So if you click this over here, the star is going to be favorites. So if you want to show favorites only, it's now going to pop up over here, so you don't have to actually, scroll through this mess of different type of templates. So once that is done, you simply name your video, and then you just click render, and then that's pretty much it. So if you guys have any questions or comments that this video maybe has not addressed, please feel free to post them in the comment box. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. Please give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful and improved your overall video quality for your videos. Guess I'll see you guys next time. Later.